Javon the creative, bad boy with a syllabus. Teaches truth with the camera, not cloud of gimmicks. It's just cause you can post it, don't mean you should. Ethics in the frame, like let's be understood. Media literacy, hoodie with the sleeves pushed, breaking down consent while the algorithm looks shook. He'll roast a bad take, then explain it real calm, like intent matters, fam, context is the bomb. Teaches kids how to shoot, adults how to pause. Who's telling the story and who benefits, dog? He don't chase viral, he builds a spine, cause clicks fade fast, but integrity's timeless. Got students trying to flex, B-roll of pain. He like, why you filming? Who wins from this frame? Camera ain't neutral, it carries your weight. Every angle of choice, every cut of debate. Funny with it, but serious in tone. Knows power lives in what you leave alone. Creative bad boy, not messy allowed. Just teaching folks how to be human and proud. So if Javon talk media, you better lean in. He'll give you the tools and the mirror within. That's the real flex, that's the dangerous joy. Javon the creative, ethical bad boy. Javon the creative, bad boy with a syllabus. Teaches truth with the camera, not cloud of gimmicks. It's just cause you can post it, don't mean you should. Ethics in the frame, like let's be understood. Media literacy, hoodie with the sleeves pushed, breaking down consent while the algorithm looks shook. He'll roast a bad take, then explain it real calm, like intent matters, fam, context is the bomb. Teaches kids how to shoot, adults how to pause. Who's telling the story and who benefits, dog? He don't chase viral, he builds a spine, cause clicks fade fast, but integrity's timeless. Got students trying to flex, B-roll of pain. He like, why you filming? Who wins from this frame? Camera ain't neutral, it carries your weight. Every angle of choice, every cut of debate. Funny with it, but serious in tone. Knows power lives in what you leave alone. Creative bad boy, not messy allowed. Just teaching folks how to be human and proud. So if Javon talk media, you better lean in. He'll give you the tools and the mirror within. That's the real flex, that's the dangerous joy. Javon the creative, ethical bad boy. Javon the creative, bad boy with a syllabus. Teaches truth with the camera, not cloud of gimmicks. It's just cause you can post it, don't mean you should. Ethics in the frame, like let's be understood. Media literacy, hoodie with the sleeves pushed, breaking down consent while the algorithm looks shook. He'll roast a bad take, then explain it real calm, like intent matters, fam, context is the bomb. Teaches kids how to shoot, adults how to pause. Who's telling the story and who benefits, dog? He don't chase viral, he builds a spine, cause clicks fade fast, but integrity's timeless. Got students trying to flex, B-roll of pain. He like, why you filming? Who wins from this frame? Camera ain't neutral, it carries your weight. Every angle of choice, every cut of debate. Funny with it, but serious in tone. Knows power lives in what you leave alone. Creative bad boy, not messy allowed. Just teaching folks how to be human and proud. So if Javon talk media, you better lean in. He'll give you the tools and the mirror within. That's the real flex, that's the dangerous joy. Javon the creative, ethical bad boy. Javon the creative, bad boy with a syllabus. Teaches truth with the camera, not clouded gimmicks. It's just cause you can post it, don't mean you should. Ethics in the frame, like let's be understood. Media literacy, hoodie with the sleeves pushed, breaking down consent while the algorithm looks shook. He'll roast a bad take, then explain it real calm, like intent matters, fam, context is the bomb. Teaches kids how to shoot, adults how to pause. Who's telling the story and who benefits, dog? He don't chase viral, he builds a spine, cause clicks fade fast, but integrity's timeless. Got students trying to flex, B-roll of pain. He like, why you filming? Who wins from this frame? Camera ain't neutral, it carries your weight. Every angle of choice, every cut of debate. Funny with it, but serious in tone. Knows power lives in what you leave alone. Creative bad boy, not messy allowed. Just teaching folks how to be human and proud. So if Javon talk media, you better lean in. He'll give you the tools and the mirror within. That's the real flex, that's the dangerous joy. Javon the creative, ethical bad boy. Javon the creative, bad boy with a syllabus. Teaches truth with the camera, not clouded gimmicks. It's just cause you can post it, don't mean you should. Ethics in the frame, like let's be understood. Media literacy, hoodie with the sleeves pushed, breaking down consent while the algorithm
watching and waiting. Thank you for waiting.
Then explain it real calm, like intent matters, fam, context is the bomb. Teaches kids how to shoot, adults how to pause. Who's telling the story and who benefits, dog? He don't chase viral, he builds a spine, cause clicks fade fast, but integrity's timeless. Got students trying to flex, B-roll of pain. He like, why you filming? Who wins from this frame? Camera ain't neutral, it carries your weight. Every angle of choice, every cut of debate. Funny with it, but serious in tone. Knows power lives in what you leave alone. Creative bad boy, not messy allowed. Just teaching folks how to be human and proud. So if Javon talk media, you better lean in. He'll give you the tools and the mirror within. That's the real flex, that's the dangerous joy. Javon the creative, ethical bad boy.
Loud and clear. Quiet. Okay.
All right. And here we go.
All right. What up? What up? What up? What up? Drew, I can still hear the music, but everybody, thank you for waiting. Oh yeah, there we go. Thank you for waiting. We're having some mic issues, so we're gonna be laved up today. So anyways, welcome to Content and Strategy Planning Part 1. It's gonna be a 1-hour class for our online content creators and our small agency producers to build a sustainable professional production workflow. We want to take the step from just doing whatever all the way to being like having a system in what we do. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So to introduce everything, we're going to focus on 4 things: storyboarding, project management, distribution, and integration. This is going to be your solid foundation of how you build a system for production workflow. So welcome to the class. This session is designed specifically for creators who are ready to move beyond the amateur workflows to build sustainable, professional content production systems. Whether you're a solo creator, juggling multiple clients, or just running a small agency, these strategies are going to help you transform how you work. So like I said earlier, today you're going to master the 4 essential pillars that separate professional producers from hobbyists. And those things are strategic storyboarding, systematic project management, multi-platform distribution, and integrated workflow systems. So these aren't theoretical concepts. These are things that I've actively learned while running my production company, Glass Valley Productions, and working at Rocky Mountain Public Media. So going from a small agency to working with a large media production company, there's a lot of different things that I've learned just in how you do things content-wise, how you do things strategy-wise, when it comes to what it is you're doing on a daily basis, and when new things come in, when new things go out, all those different pieces. So how you'll follow along, really just watch actively, take notes on the strategies that really resonate with your current challenges, and commit to implementing at least one of the action items this week. The difference between this session and others, you're going to leave with concrete, actionable steps, not just inspiration. So want to focus on giving you actual things that you can use on a daily basis and just in your regular production work life, so you can have, you know, some actionable steps to improve what you're working on. So module 1, storyboarding and pre-production. Why pre-production separates professionals from amateurs. Before I even go into it, pre-production has been, for me, one of the time-savingest things ever. And it's, for some reason, it's the most overlooked step. I don't know why, but when you're focused on things before they happen, when things do happen, it makes them easier to handle. So the more you plan ahead, the more you save time in the long run. The temptation to wing it on set is universal. Everybody just wants to just go on set, do whatever. But yeah, like, it's also really expensive to do that, because every minute spent just figuring something out actually costs money, and it burns energy, and it risks losing the perfect light or moment. So professional storyboarding isn't just about stifling creativity. It's about creating space for it by eliminating the chaos. So when I say that, it's about making space to be very creative, because of course things always happen on set. Something's always going to happen on set while you're filming. Something's going to change. Something's not going to work. Something's not going to look good in what you planned, but that's where your creativity is going to shine the most. The chaos is when you're trying to figure out what camera you're going to use, what lens you're going to use, why you're going to use that lens, and all the different aspects that you think about while on set. You kind of eliminate all the ones, and it helps you be a lot more creative in the moment, and it helps you stay in the moment to actually do those different things. So that's number 1, is it's time savings. You're going to reduce your production time by at least 40% with clear shot planning, because you know what you're going to shoot, you know what you need, and it's going to help you do those different things. So yeah, when you show up with a clear storyboard, you transform from someone hoping things work out to a director executing a vision. Clients notice the confidence, editors thank you for it, and your bank account reflects it. Now, the biggest thing is, if you edit your own projects or if someone edits them for you, they're going to be able to tell dramatically the difference between someone who plans things well and someone who's just kind of winging it, because the footage is out of order. Everything is kind of just jumbled along. They don't really know what's going on, and you're expecting them to tell a story. But with a clear storyboard, with clear ideas and clear pre-production stuff, these are things you can actually hand to an editor too, to help them get the project done at a much more efficient pace. I'm not going to say faster, but I will say efficient, because And that leads to the second pillar is editing efficiency. Is your post-production time is going to be cut in half because you're shooting with intention. So you may have taken yourself down from 5 shots to maybe 2 or 3, and then that does much better. And then the last thing, budget controls. You avoid expensive reshoots and overtime costs. You don't necessarily have to worry about overtime costs unless you're an agency that's hiring different contractors or different people. That's something else to talk about. But like reshoots, especially for me, have been a huge downside of things because there's been times that I've shot things, didn't plan them well, and then things come along, and now all of a sudden I have to go back, reshoot it, and that actually costs a lot of time and effort. And sometimes you'll have to refund things. Sometimes you'll have to go get more gear, especially if you rented the gear, different things like that. Also, Drew, do you mind closing that door when you get a chance? But yeah, so next thing we're going to go into is the story fundamentals that work. First is visual planning, making a shot list. This doesn't have to be super, super in detail, but you just want to create a shot list that frames, sketches, and sequence flows. So you want to map out your coverage. Like, do you want wide shots, medium shots, close-up shots? Think in sequences, not in isolated shots. This is where your story is going to come alive. It's going to come together before you ever even hit record. So like when I say that, think of like, okay, I want to do a commercial for a candy bar. It's like, where is my setting going to be? That would be your wide shot that establishes where you're at. Then your medium shots is like, maybe I want the candy bar, the full candy bar, and then close up I want like the name of the candy bar. So like Reese's does a good example of this. Is like they'll have a wide shot of a bunch of Reese's cups. You know what's going on. And like, it's a Reese's commercial. They don't even have to say Reese's because you see all the peanut butter cups sitting there. But then they'll have a packaging shot. Now you know what the package looks like. Then they'll have an even close-up shot of what the inside of a Reese's cup looks like. And voila. Now they've told you a story about the Reese's cup. Very, very funny example, very simple example. But like those commercials are only 30 seconds. They have 30 seconds to tell you a full story about their brand, about their different style of like they have a different style and everything of their story. So they have a short time to tell you a important story because they want you to buy Reese's Cups. And if you didn't know, Reese's Cups are one of my favorite candies. That's why I brought it up. But yeah, visual planning is going to be the most helpful because it's going to help you see what you need to do. And, just drawing stuff out. You don't have to be, a great artist. You can use stick figures, but just getting those ideas out onto paper and even into certain softwares will help you set things up so you know what you're going to record and you know how things are going to flow from frame to frame to frame to frame across the whole video, movie, whatever it is you're shooting. Script integration. This one is kind of like, it depends if you're doing VO. It depends on if you have people doing dialogue or have people talking, but you want to match your visuals directly to your narrative and your messaging beats. Again, in a Reese's commercial, you hear people talking about how delicious a Reese's cup is. So it's reinforcing the story. But yeah, every shot should serve the story. And if you can't explain why a shot exists, cut it from your storyboard. This discipline prevents bloated productions and keeps you focused. So really, back to the Reese's example, maybe we don't need a shot of someone carrying a Reese's cup because that doesn't help the story. It's like, that doesn't really, it could make sense, but it's like, if we're just focused on just the candy, do we need someone holding a candy bar and biting it and walking around with it? It's like, probably not. Erase that from the shot and then keep all the other shots that you had planned out for it. So very simple. keeps you focused, and it actually keeps you disciplined and makes a better production and saves you time in the edit. So that's even better. And then technical specifications. So define aspect ratios early, identify graphics needs, and catalog B-roll requirements. Know whether you're shooting in 16 by 9, 9 by 16, or both. Plan for platform specific needs before production day arrives. So this is really like when you're thinking about shooting things to share on multiple fronts. So like if you're shooting horizontally, but you plan to post to Instagram or YouTube Shorts or TikTok, things like that, you want to figure out how you're going to shoot it so it fits in those aspect ratios. And I'll share the specific aspect ratios of like different social media platforms in a little bit. But 16 by 9, 9 by 16, those are the two popular ones. 16 by 9 is the horizontal video that you're all used to. 9 by 16 is reel format. So you want to be shooting with those things in mind, because sometimes you'll have to you'll still be able to get the same shots you want, but you might have to scoot further back and shoot those shots, or you might have to be closer in, so you're not doing that. But you also might want to be shooting in 4K so you can punch in a little bit. You might want to be shooting in 1080p because you don't plan to do 9 by 16 or whatever it is. But a good example for me is we'll shoot in 6K for work, and then for our social media promotions, I'll punch in on those shots, but I'll shoot them a little further back. So even when I zoom in, I have a lot of information, and I'll edit on a 1080p timeline because most things are still delivered in 1080p. We've talked about that before. And if you haven't, most things that you see are still in 1080p. They're just shot in 4K and delivered in 1080p, so they look super sharp. But I keep that in mind of like, what am I going to shoot in at what aspect ratio to make sure that I got things figured out before I start shooting. And did you have a question? Okay, cool. Well, if you guys have any questions online or in person, please feel free to just ask as I go through. But next thing we're going to go through is an essential pre-production checklist. So first things first, client communication and approval workflows are established. So you want to, if you're shooting with a client, if you're shooting with someone, you want to talk with them first, let them know what you're doing, and show them what you're doing and have that approved by them so you guys are both on the same page on how it's going to go. And then you're pretty much set. And then establish the workflow too. Like, for example, I'm filming with a contractor. So the workflow will be, I'm going to come in before they start the work. I'm going to get shots of what everything looks like before. I'm going to come in the middle of the work, film the work in progress, and then I'm going to do the final work. Now, something they might want to throw in, and is why you give them heads up in your communication, is like, they'll say, okay, well, I have a specific, and this has happened too. So I was filming a pop top on a house, and the client was like, I really want a shot of when the crane is going to bring this big steel pipe in and drop it in the house, because most people don't know how that works and they've never seen it, and I want to show that. So I'm like, okay, well, that fits into this part of the process, so I'll just add that in here, and I know where it's going to go in the video. I know where it's going to fit, because now it actually helps my sequence even more, because now they get to see more of the building process in the before and in the middle. And then when the final thing is seen, they know what that final thing is being sat on. So it adds to the story. So that's a good example of just how things would work. The second thing you want to do is location scouting completed with permission secured. Permission secured is kind of like when you're doing short films. And if you wanted to film at, let's say, a coffee shop, you want to have the owner's permission. Like, yeah, you can film here more before you just walk in with a camera and start filming. Because you also they need to know, like, do you need people out of here? Can you film somewhere else? Like, there's different things that are, I won't go into detail, but there's different things that you need when you're filming at certain locations. But, you want to just kind of talk to the people that own the locations, that are there, for when you can be there, what times you can be there, let them know. And then location scouting, I mean, that's kind of a given already. You want to know where you're going to shoot. You want to know what it looks like. And you want to go at the times of day you plan on shooting, on the specific days you plan on shooting. Like, you don't want to go to a bar on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. when you're planning to shoot at Friday at 7 p.m. It's going to be a whole different demographic of people there, if anyone at all, and it's going to look completely different than how you're shooting. So you want to go at the times of day you're planning on shooting, just so you have a little bit more insight on what it is that you're shooting and what it's going to look like during your shoot. Because this is, again, where your creativity is going to be able to come out, because maybe there's a little more people than you expected. Now you can change up your shots a little bit. Maybe there's less people. You can change up your shots a little bit. Those kind of things are going to help you. And just go take your camera, take pictures of everything. If you're working with a team, show them the pictures, let them give you some ideas. And if you're working by yourself, take those pictures, so then when you add it to your storyboard, you have actual pictures of what it looks like. You can, we all have computers now. We all have access to computers, so you can put that online and, make a little stick figure in Canva or different things like that, and actually help you make a great storyboard with real reference shots. And then you're kind of there like, oh yeah, this is what I wanted. This is what I was looking for. Third thing, equipment list finalized and crew roles assigned. Again, this is more agency stuff, but like, if people are helping you, you still want them to know what they're doing, even if they're helping you for free, even if you're paying them, you want them to know exactly what you're doing, and you want to know exactly what you're using. So, I mean, that's pretty much a given, but any cameras, lenses, gimbals, tripods, all that stuff needs to be listed out so that you know exactly what's being used, what's being brought on set, so you don't forget anything either. So then if you do forget stuff, you know what's going on. You know what's yours, serial numbers, all those different kind of things. I could go all day about equipment lists, but yeah, you want to just have a list of everything you're going to use, and everybody who's on the crew, you want them to have a specific role in what they're doing, and they know what they're doing. Fourth thing is your timeline mapped with realistic deadlines and buffer time. So if you are working on a project, you want to have a timeline for the entirety of the project, from pre-production all the way to delivery. So you want to have that mapped out in a sense of, how long it's going to take you for pre-production, how long it's going to take for production, and how long it's going to take for post-production. And then once post-production is done, you still want to have time for them to review things as well. And some clients and some people, they take a little longer to review things than others. So you want to include that time, but you also want to give yourself buffer time for any hiccups or, stuck points in editing or different things that may come up throughout the production. Somebody could drop a camera and break a lens, and now, you need an extra day to shoot, and you didn't give yourself that much time to get the shooting done. So now everything is pushed back, and now you got to change the delivery date for the client, or you have to push back, when you're going to be able to submit your movie to a film festival, whatever situation you're in. But you want to have it planned out with some buffer time to make sure that if anything happens, you're not going to be completely devastated. You'll be in a good spot. You may have to adjust things around a little bit, but you're prepared for it. You gave yourself time. And then last thing is a budget breakdown with contingency for unexpected costs. Now, timeline and buffer time and deadlines, they kind of go hand in hand with this, because you want to know exactly how much things cost: camera rentals, crew costs, equipment costs, different things that, like location costs sometimes, whatever it is, things that cost money to make the production happen. You want to have a full budget breakdown so you don't go over that, because once you go over that, you're losing money. We don't want to lose money. We want to make money. So, yeah. And then anything unexpected, like a broken lens, broken camera, someone gets hurt on set, You want to have insurance and things like that for those situations, but you want to have a budget set aside so you can pay those deductibles so you can utilize the insurance. You don't want to be over budget because something happened on set. Those kind of things. Another real world example I had was a recent PBS promotional spot. It required us to coordinate 3 different locations, 5 different pieces of talent, and a 48-hour turnaround. The storyboard created during pre-production became our North Star, allowing us to shoot efficiently and deliver on time. Without it, we would have been lost. I've run into situations like this on so many different occasions, but having good planning before we started anything is what helped us get things turned around very quickly. Sometimes we've gone over that 48-hour turnaround. Sometimes we've gone over that short-term turnaround, but the pre-production was so good and we were so communicative. Ooh, that's a hard word. With the client that they were super chill about it. They were like, oh, well, I'm glad you guys took your time and didn't try to rush through this. And yeah, so those experiences helped a lot. Like those things helped a lot because it shows that you're, even if you do go over a time limit, you're doing your very best to be professional. Sometimes people are more difficult than others, but most of the time people are super chill when they see that you're doing what you need to be doing. But if you're applying all these things, more often than not, you're going to be on time. Last thing, an action item. I want you to create a simple 3 to 5 shot storyboard for your next video project this week. Use a paper, a whiteboard, or free tools like Canva, and focus on shot variety and sequence flow, not artistic perfection. Boom. Let's go to the next one. Module 2, project management for media production. Why are project management systems non-negotiable? Well, when it comes to managing a project, you don't want all this stuff in your head. You want to be able to go to a place that you have everything in order and you know exactly what needs to happen for every step of the process. At PBS, we use Monday. For myself, I use Trello because Monday costs money. I want to use free softwares as long as I can, and it's just me, so I don't really need a bunch of different softwares. I just need to know exactly what I'm doing as I'm growing, and then as I grow, I know what softwares I'm going to go to. Monday, however, is my favorite, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what Monday looks like for PBS wise. I have a bunch of different boards and there's a bunch of stuff in there, so it'll be very easy. I will also show my Trello. It's very simple, very easy, but there's also tools like Notion and just other tools you can research on Google to figure out what it is you like. My favorite, though, of all time is Monday. But when you're juggling multiple clients, deadlines, deliverables, and revision rounds, your brain becomes the bottleneck. Like I was saying, you don't want all this stuff in your head. Professional project management isn't just about adding more work. It's about creating a system that works while you're asleep. It's the difference between being constantly firefighting or confidently executing. So you want to be able to go to sleep at night knowing you did everything you needed to do today to make sure that everything else is on time for when it needs to be. And even if you didn't do everything you need to do today, you know what tasks need to be done by when, so you can still finish things on time. So yeah, first thing, you eliminate chaos. You stop relying on your memory, your scattered notes, and email threads to track projects. Everything's in one place. It's very easy for you. Builds client trust. So transparency through shared boards shows professionalism and progress. If a client comes to you, like let's say you're the producer on the project and you're the one dealing with the clients, and you know the media people that are doing the shooting, you're like, no guys, I got it, I'm gonna handle it. When you can show them a board of like, hey, this is what your project looks like, this is where we're at, this is when things are going to be done, here's what's completed, they're going to be like, you know what, you got it under control. We'll leave it to you. And that's going to take a lot of stress off of your producer, a lot of stress off your team, a lot of stress off of just the people in general that are involved. So yeah, and it's going to show the client the progress. They're going to be like, well, I trust them to do everything. They can show me whatever part of the progress we're in pretty simply, pretty easily. Last thing is avoid scope creep. So clear task lists and approval workflows prevent endless revisions. Again, pre-production and project management go hand in hand, because I'm sure all of my freelancers and filmmakers have experienced at least once sometime in their life has been like, well, I like it, but can you change this? Or can you change this? And then now you're 7 revisions down the line and the video is still not done. You're past your deadline and all these different things. So now it looks even worse and you have a headache. I've experienced that a lot, but having a clear task list is like, hey, we're doing this, 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 and this. And talking with the client in that is like, hey, here's everything that we have approved. Here's everything that's going to go on. And you have this many revisions. It's going to set you up. You're going to be like, whew, and be able to breathe. So those 3 things are definitely the big pieces of media production. So next, I'm going to show a little bit of my Monday screen. So yeah, when I come into here, like you can see, I have all my past campaigns. I got journalism team stuff. I got my digital team stuff. Got marketing team stuff. And it's like trying to navigate this is a lot, because you come here and let's go to digital experience team, because this is what I do the most work on. You see all this. You got like our date of request. So when we got it, when it came in, who's it's assigned to, the desired due date, and the status of where it's at. So immediately when I come in here, I'm like, boom. And even who it was requested by. So yeah, there's an area of description, what you need, any additional details we need to know. And it's like, do you have a Google Drive? All those different things. And you can customize this to how you need it to be. But like, is there any copy here? Like anything that we want said in this kind of thing? Any assets? What platforms it's going to be shared on? Is it new? I mean, the list goes on. And then even then, it's like, this is a lot. I don't see my name assigned to any of these things. And you come down, and you see like completed, assigned, incoming, whatever it is. But I'm like, I don't see my name anywhere in this. I come over here to my work. I don't think I'm going to be doing any work just because I got 2 things. I do a lot of work. I just have 2 things left. So yeah, I can see exactly what work I need to do, what the status is, and the priority. Any comments that were left, boom, all happened right within here. Who made it, everything I need to know, any important details. It's all right here for me. It's very simple, very easy. And I could just make whatever I need. I can see everything I need. I can respond to everybody. I can send messages. I can put files in here, everything I need to know. Another thing too is I have an update feed in here. See if it loads, takes a minute. But like anything that's going on in the organization, I can see what exactly is happening, even if it's not related to me, but it also organizes it by which board it's happening on. So, I mean, all boards, you see I got 59 things going on, but Studio Ops board, it separates everything out. So that's also very nice, because now I can know exactly what's going on as a feed, and I can just, boom. I don't even need to contact anybody yet. I can just look at everything and see what's going on from a bird's eye view. So let's swing back over here. So you guys saw Monday. Let me see if I can pull up my Trello too.
Is this like a subscription service?
Yes. So the question was, is it a subscription service? I'll get into how much these different things cost, but Monday specifically, it's a paid one. This is more for when you have multiple people on your team. We have like 7 people on our team, so we got to kind of see what's going on a regular basis. But for me, here, let's
Tired of making individual group chats?
yes. If you're making a bunch of individual group chats, this is mine. You know, like I use Trello. It's a free one, very simple, but it's like I know exactly where things are at, what's in production, what's in review, and what's been delivered. So like, and then even things that I have a stuck board too. It's like I know exactly where everything is, where it needs to be, and how it needs to be done. So like you can put checklists in here. Like for this one, we'll say like you can add all these different things that you need. I don't specifically do all this for everything, but when I know there's certain steps that I need to do within a project, I just add them. So you can assign members. I don't have any members because it's just me, but like checklists, you can have start dates, reminders, all the things I need. Boom. And it's just there. And this actually started an hour ago. You can see when I added it, which is also very beneficial. So yeah, I mean, I do mine very simply because it's just me on my team right now. And then I hire different contractors to help out. So they don't necessarily need all this. I need to keep track of it. But again, it's a great use of different aspects of a board. I don't have to think about everything. I could just come to a board and be like, what do I need to do? Well, has subtasks and everything in it. Back to the presentation. So let's go full screen. So yeah, I saw a couple examples. I mean, pick which one you want to use. We're going to talk about them a little bit more here shortly. But yeah, let's keep going down. Next thing is you want to build your production workflow. So you want to have intake, pre-production, production, post-production, and delivery. You want to have a step for each of these. Intake, your client learns who they are, all the requirements they need, all the requirements you need. Voila, you're set. Pre-production is when your storyboards, your schedules, and approvals, they're tackled systematically. Everything is taken care of in that period of time before any cameras are recording. Production, your shot list is ready, and you're filming. And now you can track the progress of what filming is being done. And then post-production, it's the editing, it's the revisions, it's the feedback, all those different things. Then delivery, final delivery. Very simple, very easy. But if you learn to make these steps happen, you can track each one of these things individually and keep things on track for what you need to get done. Tools and platform alternatives. We did talk about Monday. Now, Monday, it's best for visual thinkers who need robust automation and client collaboration features. And pricing starts at $8 per user per month. Monday, like I was saying, it's my favorite because it's very robust and we need automations, and I need to be able to send something, and I need to be able to, when I mark something as done, it'll send an email because it saves me time instead of me having to say, hey, this is done. It's like when I mark it as done, it'll let that person know who needs to know that it's done. Hey, this is done. You can move forward now. So those different kind of things. But it's more for teams, and like when we have clients, they want to see what's going on. They can see as well. Trello, my second favorite. It's very simple. It's Kanban workflows, and it's for solo creators on a budget, i.e. myself. They have a free tier. They have paid plans from $5 per user per month. I don't use the paid plan yet. I don't need to because I just need a simple workflow, and having simple things is always going to be easy. Now, Asana, I've used Asana before too. I actually really like Asana too. But it's best for teams needing detailed task dependencies and timeline views. And there's free for small teams, paid from $10.99 per user per month. Asana is really good too. I don't use it as much because I just think Trello is just more simple, and I just feel I work better with Trello. But Asana is really good too. Now, and then there's Notion. I use Notion as well, but I don't use it so robustly. But it's an all-in-one workspace combining documents, databases, and project tracking, and it's very affordable. It starts at $8 per user per month. I do believe they have a free version as well because I don't pay for it, so maybe I'm just grandfathered into the free. But don't quote me on the free. But again, I use Notion as well. They actually have an app too, so it's very nice. I mean, all of these have an app, but yeah, very wonderful. We won't go through the case study. Yeah, we will. So, I'll show you one project that it's just kind of. I'll show you an up-to-date project in Monday that we got. So, let me see if I can get to my completed ones. Let's go. Studio Ops. So yeah, let's do Brandy Younger. So we had a live on Kuvo. This actually is done too. I don't know why they didn't mark it as done, but they had a live on Kuvo. Brandy Younger, she was at Dazzle. We had to film and do everything. Our final deadline was December 17th. We had it airing December 18th. Now this project had some problems because they reviewed and we didn't meet that published air date. But yeah, it was we had a content type, artist performance. Is it in person? We didn't mark that. But yeah, we were at Dazzle. We just kind of had that here. Of course, we're humans, we're not perfect, so we just be typing stuff in there sometimes. But sometimes we do interviews, so we'll have a list of interviewees so we know exactly who those names were, so we can just come here instead of having to email the artist like, hey, how do you spell your name? We already have that all set up. Any copy that we needed, it's right there. Are there any social handles or websites? They all get put here. Are there any details we should know? They all get put here. All that stuff was taken care of, and then we had different sub items. So we had to get photos for it. We had to get a YouTube link up. We had to do a write up for it. And I won't show you what was written in here because I don't want to release anybody's information. But yeah, we had the different photos. We had YouTube links. We had a write up. Once those things were done, boom, we got it sent over, and it was taken care of. Pretty easy stuff. Pretty simple stuff. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, now that we've done that, we're going to set up, you got another action item. Set up a basic project management board for your next 3 projects this week. Even if you want to use Trello, doesn't matter. Just do a to-do, an in progress, an in review, and complete. And it's going to transform your workflow because you'll know where things are. So just try that. Do it very basic. Even if it's, just film, edit, and post on YouTube. It doesn't matter. Last thing we're going to talk about, and we're kind of going to zoom through it for time reasons, is distribution strategy across platforms. So you want to understand different platforms and how they work. So creating amazing content, it's only half the battle. The other half, getting in front of the right audience on the platforms where they're at in the right format. Each platform has its own language, preferences, and technical requirements. So ignoring these means you're leaving views, engagement, and revenue on the table. So you don't want to leave that stuff on the table. We want to make our money. We want our people to see it. So these 3, and feel free to screenshot, but you also have access to these slides. Just let us know. It will be with DCM. They'll have it. You can access it whenever you want. These slides are yours. But YouTube, 16:9 landscape. They also have shorts. I just didn't include it because we're going to talk about Instagram. Length is 8 to 15 minutes in sweet spot. Shorts, 60 seconds. Your focus is your SEO, your thumbnails, and watch time. And the algorithm loves consistent uploads and viewer retention. So how long people are watching, how much they come back, and consistency in which you upload. Instagram format is 9:16 vertical reels, 1x1 or 4x5 for different feeds. Those are all the sizes you need to know for what posting on Instagram looks like. It's a square, it's a little bit bigger square, and then there's the vertical rectangle. And then length 15 to 90 seconds is optimal. Your focus is you want to have strong hooks and visual appeal. And the algorithm, it loves shares, saves, and comments, not likes. Shares, saves, and comments. So if people are sharing, saving, or commenting on your stuff, that's what the algorithm is going to like the most. TikTok, similar to Instagram, 9x16, 15 to 60 seconds. Their focus is trends, sounds, and fast pacing. And the algorithm loves completion rate and rewatches. I won't talk too much about completion rate. It's just more like, but it's more like how many people finish your reel from start to finish. That's really it. People watching your stuff all the way through, or they skipping through it because it's fast paced. So if you're holding people to that reel specifically, it's gonna get posts because people want to watch it. And how many times are they watching it over? TikToks are really funny. So do you watch it 2 or 3 times? Do you watch it 30 times? Do you watch it 1,000 times? Do you save it and come back to those different things? And then LinkedIn, this is the professional platform. This is why I included it, because this is where all the business professionals are at. So if you wanna get to the business professionals, this is your shameless plug. You go on LinkedIn. But their format, 16x9 landscape or a 1x1 square. They also do have shorts/reels now, so you can post things that way too, because they want to compete with Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. But their length is 30 seconds to 2 minutes. They're optimal because they have longer videos. They're business professionals. Those are for things. Your focus, professional value, and captions. People want to read these things, and they're going through a lot of business content daily on LinkedIn. So you want to have professional value because you want people to hire you because of your work. You want to have captions, so when people are looking through this stuff, they can just follow along very easily. Their algorithm really loves engagement within the first hour of you posting. So it's a little different, but yeah. Next thing is creating once and distributing everywhere. The secret to sustainable content creation isn't working harder, it's working smarter. So master content is filmed once with multi-platform distribution in mind. This means shooting in the highest resolution possible, capturing both horizontal and vertical footage, and planning for multiple edits during pre-production. Here's a strategy we use for Kuvo Jazz and the drop content. So we film one interview in 4K, 16x9. During the shoot, we capture vertical 9x16 coverage of key moments. In post-production, we create a primary long-form YouTube edit and then extract 3 to 5 vertical clips for Instagram Reels and TikTok. We do a 60-second teaser for LinkedIn with professional captions and short audiograms for Twitter. One shoot becomes 8 to 10 pieces of platform-optimized content. We don't necessarily do the LinkedIn or audiograms for Twitter anymore because we don't do the audiograms and stuff for Twitter, and we don't really do much for LinkedIn, but still a good strategy to do those different things. So you end up with 8 to 10 pieces of content rather than one, and they're all platform optimized. Wonderful. So how do I optimize stuff for the platform? Well, easy. YouTube mastery. You want to do keyword research because it drives titles and descriptions. Thumbnails must be readable on mobile, and the first 30 seconds determine retention. So playlists organize content, and they keep viewers watching. End screens drive subscriptions. So you want to ask people to subscribe. You want your YouTube page to look good. Very easy. Instagram excellence. Hook viewers in the first 3 seconds. Text overlays, they're essential. 80% watch without sound. So most people are watching Instagram with the sound off. So you want them to see stuff so they turn their phone up and watch it again. Captions should be conversation starters. Stories drive real views. And Carousel posts, they get saved and they get shared. Those are the things. They share them on their story. Keep it simple. Keep it easy. Then TikTok. Jump on trends quickly while they're hot. Use trending sounds to boost reach, and fast pacing prevents scrolling. Native editing looks more authentic than polished imports. Comments drive second day algorithm pushes. So TikTok, it's kind of, you want to jump on the trends, but I mean, I don't really jump on the trends. I don't really be on TikTok like that, at least post, because that's just not where my audience is. You also want to pick where your audience is at. Now, LinkedIn, value first content performs best. Value, value, value. Longer captions with clear takeaways and get engagement. Tag relevant people and companies. Post during business hours, and native uploads outperform YouTube links. Very, very straightforward. This is a little tree that I made for optimization kind of stuff, and it's one, export and schedule. Create platform-specific versions with proper aspect ratios and length. 2, optimize your metadata, your captions, your titles, your descriptions, all those things. You want to schedule strategically, so you can use tools like Later, Hootsuite, or Buffer to post at optimal times. I just have time to post, so I don't have to use them, but those different types of tools will help you tremendously. And if you're cross-promote, tease content on your stories, mention them in your captions, drive traffic between different platforms. Keep people on your platform, but drive them to different parts of you. And then analyze performance. Track your views, your engagement rate, your retention, and conversions to improve. Figure out what things don't work, what do work, how they work. Those different pieces, they really help you a lot. And yeah, our last thing, action item. Take one existing video, create 3 platform-specific versions this week. Export a 16:9 for YouTube, a 9:16 vertical cut for Instagram or TikTok, and a 1:1 square version with captions for LinkedIn. And then notice how the same content performs differently with proper optimization. So if you want to do a test, do things and just post them all as the same one thing. Maybe, shorten it for Instagram and TikTok, but share it on YouTube and just share it. And then try it with those optimization techniques and just see how they perform differently. Last module, we're bringing it all together. We don't got to talk about this in great detail, but yeah, now that we've connected everything you've learned into one integrated system, this isn't about adding more tools. It's about making the tools you have work together. When storyboarding, project management, and distribution strategies all align, you create a content production machine that you can scale. So step 1, idea, client brief. You have a good, clear intake process. It captures everything you need to do to make the project happen. Your storyboard session happens immediately, and your shot list and technical aspects are defined before you move to the next step. Once those things are done, you set up the project. Monday.com, Trello, whatever you choose, you create it with the different phases, your pre-production, your production, your editing, revisions, delivery, all those different things. They're all mapped out. Your deadlines, team, everybody is good. Everything, all access is granted, any folders, Google Drives, all those different things. It's all set up from there. Production. This is when you're shooting, you're executing everything, your storyboard, your shot list, and then check off completed shots in the board. If you really want to be fancy, you can have someone that's checking these things off, or you can just check them off at the end of the day and just have a little checklist with you while you're doing things, so you're staying on top of things. And then step 4, post-production. Edit according to a storyboard vision, not just what you think is cool. Your vision is what's going to guide you. So track revision rounds in the board and gather and implement client feedback systematically. And then move to your final approval phase. And then once they're approved, you distribute. So export multiple platforms using your presets. You can set these presets up in your editing software. And then if you have scheduling tools, you can use your scheduling tools. And then cross-promote strategically. And then update the board to delivery status. And then analysis. Come back to these videos, review how they performed, and document what worked and what didn't. And apply learnings to the next project. and then archive it, save the notes for future references. Once you can follow, if you're following this meticulously, you'll notice things get way easier. Your creativity is not stifled. You actually get to be more creative, and work is getting done, and things are things aren't so stressful every time you start to do work. A couple common mistakes that kill the sustainability is skipping pre-production. I can't stress this enough. Pre-production is the key to everything. If you can pre-produce, you're going to save yourself time. No project. The next thing is no project management software. Don't rely on your memory. It's not good for you. You'll forget things. Things will cross your mind. You'll lose track of different things. You'll lose track of feedback, and you'll be always stressed because you'll never know what's going on with each part of your project and what's going on in your projects. Single platform focus. Creating beautiful content only for YouTube means you're ignoring Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn audiences. You're leaving 70% of your potential reach untapped. Now, a lot of people don't do this anymore, which is really good, but don't focus on just one platform. Have a main platform, pick a main thing, and then spread from there. Some people don't need YouTube. They want to just do Instagram. That's great. Instagram will be your main thing. Some people don't want to do Instagram. They want to do TikTok. Again, TikTok is your main thing, but spread to different areas because there's more people in more places, and your content fits in all of those places. Just figure out what works best for you first. So yeah, start with one platform, but spread to others. And the last thing is not analyzing results. This speaks for itself. If you're not going back and seeing how things are performing, if you're not going back to see what works and what doesn't, you're not using data. You're using your emotions to, well, I think this was good, but you have no real data saying that something was good or bad, or something didn't work and something didn't work, or something did work, something didn't work. So just having clear scope of results and data is going to help you tremendously. And then a good keynote is your sustainable content business. These systems aren't just about organization. They're about building a business that scales without burnout. You don't want to burn out because you're doing a bunch of different projects. When processes are repeatable, you can take on more clients. When clients see your professionalism, they pay more and refer others. When operations are automated, you have time for actual creativity. You don't have to do every individual task each time that something happens. You learn what happens all the time. You can automate certain things. We have AI now. You can use those different things to help you automate the drudgery tasks that stop you from being creative. So when you have repeatable systems, you can figure out what can be automated and what can't, what needs to stay, what doesn't, and it makes you much more efficient, but also you also get to keep your creativity. So yeah, a good personal weekly routine. Monday mornings, they're for planning, reviewing projects, and prioritizing the week and scheduling your content. And then Tuesday through Thursday is for active production and editing. And then Friday is for distribution, analytics, and client check-ins. And this rhythm, it balances, like for me, this is what I do, but this balances my PBS work, my Glass Valley clients, and then my freelance projects without constantly figuring out what's going on. Because I don't like to shoot on Mondays because you can't rent things on Sundays, but you can go pick up things on Monday and get everything ready for Tuesday through Thursday, and now you're ready for the week at hand. So apply those different things and see how it works for you. But closing remarks, 4 pillars recap. Storyboard everything. You want to storyboard everything. Plan before you shoot to save yourself time, money, and creative energy. Manage systematically. Use project boards to track every phase from intake to delivery. Now, you can figure out what works for you, but use project boards. It's going to save you so much mental stress. Third, distribute strategically. Optimize your content for every platform to maximize reach and impact. And then lastly, build repeatable systems. Integrate your workflows so your business scales without chaos. And then last thing, I got some action items for you. I want you to create a storyboard, pick your next project, map out 3 to 5 shots before you shoot, set up your project management, choose a tool, create your boards for your next 3 projects with clear phases. And then 3, repurpose existing content. Take that one video, create 3 platform specific versions, optimize for each audience, and go from there. And next thing is, I'm going to what's coming in part 2. We're going to have a part 2 to this class. We'll dive a little bit into more advanced content planning strategies, calendars, audience research, all those different things. We'll talk about that in part 2 next month. So yeah, stay connected. You can follow me on Instagram at Glass Valley Productions or Glass Valley PRD. It's right there in the little bottom part. Maybe my mouse can go over it. No, you can't see it. It's okay. But it's Instagram at Glass Valley PRD. And then subscribe to the DCM YouTube. You'll see me on here. There's more videos on here. And yeah, you can learn some more professional content strategies and different tutorials and see how different things work. Of course, come join us in the studio too. And then lastly is just share this training. Share it with other people. Share with other creators that you may think needs this. Yeah, see what they think. See if it helps you. Share with how it helped you. Let me know how it helped you. Feel free to reach out to me and all those different things. So, yeah, thank you guys for showing up, and thank you for your time. And you all have a good rest of your evening. I'm out.
Javon creative, bad boy with a syllabus. Teaches truth with the camera, not clouded gimmicks. It's just cause you can post it, don't mean you should. Ethics in the frame, like let's be understood. Media literacy, hoodie with the sleeves pushed, breaking down consent while the algorithm looks shook. He'll roast a bad take, then explain it real calm, like intent matters, fam context is the bomb. Teaches kids how to shoot, adults how to pause. Who's telling the story and who benefits, dog? He don't chase viral, he builds a spine, cause clicks fade fast, but integrity's timeless. Got students trying to flex, B-roll of pain. He like, why you filming? Who wins from this frame? Camera ain't neutral, it carries your weight. Every angle of choice, every cut of debate. Funny with it, but serious in tone. Knows power lives in what you leave alone. Creative bad boy, not messy allowed. Just teaching folks how to be human and proud. So if Javon talk media, you better lean in. He'll give you the tools and the mirror within. That's the real flex, that's the dangerous joy. Javon the creative, ethical bad boy. Javon the creative, bad boy with a syllabus. Teaches truth with the camera, not clouded gimmicks. It's just cause you can post it, don't mean you should. Ethics in the frame, like let's be understood. Media literacy, hoodie with the sleeves pushed, breaking down consent while the algorithm looks shook. He'll roast a bad take, then explain it real calm, like intent matters, fam context is the bomb. Teaches kids how to shoot, adults how to pause. Who's telling the story and who benefits, dog? He don't chase viral, he builds a spine, line, cause clicks fade fast, but integrity's timeless. Got students trying to flex, B-roll of pain. He like, why you filming? Who wins from this frame? Camera ain't neutral, it carries your weight. Every angle of choice, every cut of debate. Funny with it, but serious in tone. Knows power lives in what you leave alone. Creative bad boy, not messy allowed. Just teaching folks how to be human and proud. So if Javon talk media, you better lean in. He'll give you the tools and the mirror within. That's the real flex, that's the dangerous joy. Javon the creative, ethical bad boy.